Okay, hello everyone. We're picking up where we left off. Where we left off yesterday was we woke up in our bedroom, in our hotel room to be specific, that half naked, drunk, and with amnesia. Yeah, not so great. We found out we're a police officer, and we spoke to some of the people in the area who really don't like us because it turns out we had a psychological breakdown and kind of destroyed a lot of stuff. But thankfully, we've met up with our partner, who's going to be helping us complete the investigation that we were supposed to be doing. And as we put our lives back together, but it turns out that's not going to be so easy because everyone in the area hates us, including our own colleagues, for good reason. And generally, so things aren't so hot for our character right now. But I'm sure our hero will succeed. Well, maybe, depending on what choices we make. Anyway, let's get this show on the road. Oh, and for those of in case for those of you who haven't heard yet, today is International Trans Visibility Day. So happy that day, trans rights. And the past year has not exactly been kind to, well, it hasn't been kind to a lot of people, but transgender people in particular have been shafted a lot. I mean, Alabama had their whole anti-trans bill. There's some other states, just in America, that are performing some pretty transphobic actions. So hopefully next year will be better, but overall let's hope we can improve the world somewhat. And the game is finally loading, I think. Alright. So, we got all our stuff from the trash. Let's go give the key back to Gart. And after that, we can totally not bully the children. We totally won't be bullying them. I swear. Well, to be fair, the kids were kind of mean to us.
Can I help you?
He arcs an eyebrow. Here's your trash container key, man.
Thanks. I hope you found what you were looking for.
Well, I found the victim's clothes.
How strange. I certainly didn't put them there.
Could someone on your staff have put them there?
Sylvie had the keys before I got here, and I can vouch for her. I can vouch for all my staff. None of us would tamper with the crime scene.
Who else has access to the keys?
The trash collection service, CS Municipal. I don't see why they would put anything in the trash, though.
Ah, the elusive CS Municipal. I doubt we'll be able to track down who was sent here last and when. This will have to be one of those little threats that solves itself down the road.
Wait, we actually have trash collection services? Well, it is paid. It does have to be paid, so I assume it's probably either a private company or they have no public funding, so that they're forced to basically have like a paid subscription where you have to pay if you want to get it just so they can pay their own bills.
Thank you anyway.
Maybe you don't remember putting it
I
in.
think fugue states are more your forte, officer.
Touche.
Yes?
Alright, goodbye for now. We gotta find out who put the clothes in the trash. Later. Come on. Too bad there's no items around. eggshell. Earthquake. Maybe steam Masha did to this place. Oh, craters. Yeah, this place isn't looking so good. And it's more than just a lack of maintenance, although there is definitely that. Anyway, it's time we got that body down.
There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body below is entirely dedicated to that corpse smell. Emitting it is all it does now.
Well, we got our shit compressed, so let's do it!
Ha ha ha! Again!
The corpse laughs at you, pus dripping from its mouth.
No!
You will never be able to hold it in. It's always too much.
I feel it coming up again. Oh no!
Every time it happens, it gets worse and worse. There's nothing more to throw up now. All that's left is crying and convulsing dry at the same time.
Even though I got my shit compressed, how is it possible? I put myself back together and I'm still...
I'm at a loss as well. I could swear your shit was together, detective.
Sometimes even that is not enough. Life is unfair.
Jeez.
Officer, you just need to be stronger. Learn to keep it in long enough for us to work. There's nothing else to do.
Relax. It's okay if you don't make it today. The bloated corpse isn't going anywhere.
That's kind of a bit of the problem, but... Well, I could save scum. Let's actually check the options. No, I do not wish to engage hardcore mode. I want this off. Hardcore mode, I want off. I've got taps. I don't need detective mode since I got tapped. But thankfully, we have skill points built up. This will be necessary for us to... do
There
this.
he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body below is entirely dedicated to that corpse smell. Emitting it is all it does now.
Come on!
Ha ha ha!
Are you kidding me?
Again!
The corpse laughs at you, pus dripping from its mouth.
You will never be...
Every time it happens, it gets worse and worse. There's nothing more to throw up now. All that's left is crying and convulsing dryly.
I need to find items now.
The lieutenant is clearly at a loss.
Officer, you just need to be stronger. Learn to keep it in long enough for us to work. There's nothing else to do.
Relax. It's okay if you don't make it today. The bloated corpse isn't going anywhere.
This is the point where I would save scum if I was playing with myself, but I got you guys. Well, whoever is watching. So I can't really do that right now. Well, that's lovely. Well, I can still invest more points if I have to. Let's find an item that will increase our endurance somehow. Wait, they sell the salts at the... store. We can get one and maybe it'll increase our... There should... Let's see, if I remember correctly, there should be a bag. Ha! Tarp bag! You're wondering why I'm ignoring all these little thought bubbles, and there's a reason for it. Squall of seabirds. Sorry, I hope you don't mind if I take this. We're gonna need money. You see, we can collect bottles and sell them. And no time passes. Funny thing about this game is that time only passes when you talk to people. Literally collected it from upstairs. Complete pro. I'd rather not spend another skill point if I don't have to. Those skill points will be much more valuable later. That must be the strike. Just to let you guys know, I'm not going for long tonight. Probably 9 or 10 max. Let's see.
The tear machine stands in the corner. A sign says, 1 bottle equals 10 cents.
They're at the
Your
bottles.
bottles clunk into the machine, and
Yay.
the money appears with a satisfying jingle. You're a richer man now.
Hoorah.
Welcome to Frit. Feel free to look around or something. Everything is out on the shelves.
She returns to our magazine.
What's that magazine she's reading?
Where are we going? What is this
I
Frit?
don't know. Frit?
What is... Why is it written with 3
I
T's?
think they think that the extra T makes it funkier.
She chews around
doesn't.
with disgust. Yeah, it doesn't.
The story goes that normal Fritta with 2 T's, a men's workwear shop in Vredefort, was already taken. So when Fritta Retail Inc. grew into a multinational corporation, they had to add an extra letter to avoid trademark infringement.
What magazine are you reading?
You mean this?
She looks at a cover boasting a colorful photo of 2 girls kissing.
This is Pop Stars. It's got, like, famous people in it. It's not for sale.
Looks like it also has something called Police de la Mode, featured on page 34. This speaks to you.
It's where they rate different outfits famous people wear. It's kind of funny. They're kind of mean. It's about who's the most stylish.
Ah. Bet you have it. Take the point.
No. I don't like it. I hate it.
Trying to be funny.
We are not the fashion police. We're the real police.
Fair enough.
Okay. I'm not really supposed to be chatting to anyone, but...
Do you have any ammonia for
She
sale?
looks up from her magazine, eyes filled with tired ennui.
Yes, what we have is there, in the medicine cabinet. Go take a look yourself.
Well, you're not really helpful, the clerk. To be fair, this is like a minimum wage job there that she probably just like sells the booze back there to drunks and sells the cigarette packs. I'm not buying them, by the way. Can you tell me about the dead body?
I don't really know anything. I mean, I know it's there, but I haven't seen it, so...
Did you know the man who
Not
died?
really.
Like, do you know him a little?
No. I didn't know him at all.
How long
I
has it been
don't
there?
know really long.
What do you think happened?
I don't know.
No need to worry. It's just standard procedure for us to ask around. If you hear anything, let us know, okay?
Okay.
Thank you for help.
Uh-huh.
Tell me about this reality.
Reality? You mean, what reality? Economic reality, or...?
She is like a student unexpectedly called upon by a teacher. Can she answer the classroom question?
Yes, tell me about the
I
economic.
don't really know anything. I mean, I'm 15.
It's an excellent
Yeah.
time.
That's why I'm working my arse off in Frit. So I guess, like, that's economic.
Well, I meant like learning Marx. Well, to be fair, I know plenty of 14-year-old left comms, but you don't have to read like 300 pages of some 100-year-old dead philosopher. Just knowing like the basic stuff going on around you.
I don't know. What about it?
Where are
We're
we?
in Frit
I meant like
as
smaller scale.
mankind, or as a nation, or
What will her essay prompt be?
You know what? Sure, that's a mankind.
in a good place. I mean, science is doing great, and this radio computer thing seems to be kind of big. I don't know. We're in as man.
What will her
As a nation.
We're in a transition. You know, transitioning from monarchy to democracy, all that stuff. We're in as mankind.
What will her
Like, where in
essay
the
prompt
world?
be?
We're in Revachol, like on the Insulindian Isola.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
What time
I
is it?
don't know. Look at the clock. It's right behind you on the wall.
The clock shows the time at 10:09. The hands seem to be still. It's apparent the clock doesn't work.
Oof. What is the revolution?
When ordinary people take over the government and demand democracy.
What about the one we had here in
Yeah,
Revachol?
it happened like 50 years ago or so. Sorry, I'm not very good at this. At history, I mean.
Oof. Just like the kid. This reminds me of my history class for some reason. With people didn't really pay much attention.
Our government? Or do you mean something else? It's cool.
Seems happy to return to reading. Well. Okay, a mill colony. That's a pop song in this universe?
You see several packaged raincoats fill a low shelf beneath a display of croissants and juice bottles. The
Ooh, sounds
raincoats
tasty.
are transparent, except for the big Fritta slogan on the back. The packages are small, discreet, sloppily stacked, making them easier to take unnoticed. No need to worry about knocking over a display.
I don't really need a raincoat right now, plus I have no idea what the raincoat even does. If you guys want me to steal a raincoat, put in the chat. Yeah, if you want me to steal a raincoat, put it in the chat or like send me a message or something. And we'll do that. Let's see, but where is the medicine cabinet? There it must be.
A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles, nasal sprays, and blister packs. They all bear the Saint Baptiste Pharmaceutics logo. Their logo is the bloodless rose, pure white, untouched by harm.
Just ask me if you need anything from Saint Baptiste. We don't stock prescription meds, but we do have Nosafed, Duramine, Magnesium, and Hypnogamma.
What I need is the ammonia.
I don't know. Let's see. Nosafed is a nasal spray. Duramine is a really good painkiller. Magnesium is a dietary supplement. Hypnogamma is... I don't really know what Hypnogamma is. I guess it makes you feel less shit. It's recommended to use after lots of partying, studying, or exercising.
You know, be a little more
No. Sorry. I'm not like a doctor or anything.
Who is Saint Baptiste?
Saint Baptiste. You know, the pharmaceuticals company. Saint Baptiste Pharmaceuticals. The one that sells meds out of Saint Baptiste. That one. There.
She is right. Saint Baptiste, the company, derives its name from Saint Baptiste, the city. Itself so named because that's what it is. A rare case where that really is the full etymological history. As far as almost anyone knows, at least.
What about the salts? No! I really don't want to have to spend another skill point. We're getting that body down by the end of the day. That's... I can't believe I'm failing this much. I don't know if we can ask her for more salts. Well, let's talk to Kuno some more.
Fuck does Kuno care?
I have some more questions about the crime
Yeah.
scene.
The kingdom of Kuno? The fuck do you want with it?
The dead man's clothes were in the trash container. How'd they get there?
Kuno doesn't know shit about that. That shit is beneath Kuno.
I need to know. It could be a lead investigation. Someone might have tampered with the murder scene.
Listen. Kuno doesn't care about this small time shit. Just listen. Kuno saw what you did there, dumpster diving. Sad shit. Kuno could hook you up with some sweet rags. Shit like Kuno's wearing. Your size, good price. 500 real.
Wait, you must have...
Look, Kuno ain't seen shit lying around. Except for that up there. Now you want performance gear or not, Grandpa?
The lieutenant remains silent, but his expression couldn't say, "I told you so," any louder.
Ha! Entertain me.
Pig, these are found modulars. Liquid fit, performance crotch, urban survival shit. Made in Mirova by scientists. Pants scientists. Believe it, you need this shit.
These could drastically improve your chances of survival in the urban wilderness. They will also make you into an idiot.
Talk about this
Alright, Pico, shit's rolling.
Don't do business with the pig, Kuno. He's gonna steal all your money, Kuno.
As you can see, Kuno and C don't trust you. Can't do business without trust.
I mean, we're not actually gonna buy it. I was just wanting to.
There's more to his distrust than being a pig. He feels threatened by something obscure in you. What that is, however, remains a puzzle for now.
The fuck? A mug in the trash. Is this about the fucking clothes again?
Oh god, how does racist have to do with anything? What is this? Point better not taken out of historical context. That you say that with like a Pepe face next to it. I mean, that's like quotation marks right there. It's like that's like you have it with Pepe face right next to it. But yeah, it's racist.
Yeah, Kuno sees where this is going. Kuno's got that fast brain. You saying you pigs are after the mug fucker? Cause he's the clothes fucker?
I can't hear you, Kuno. Speak louder, Kuno.
That's exactly what I'm saying, Kuno. Someone's tampered with the crime scene. Clean something up.
Shit, that's tense. Someone's going to the beat-down basement, huh? Mug guy gonna get tied to the radiator.
He nods in.
Kuno doesn't know who put that shit in there. And if he did, he wouldn't squeal. But if you find out, maybe you can...
Tell the Kuno who it was. He's curious. He likes putting 2 and 2 together here.
Stop turning into a pig, Kuno. They're trying to get you hooked on the snitching. Get away from my Kuno.
Oh my, well, she's feisty.
Yeah? Get your bacon shit away. Kuno doesn't like to be seen with the popo. Get your shit done and out of Kuno's face. Yeah,
Okay,
whatever.
okay.
Kuno doesn't give a shit.
I can't investigate the value
Yeah,
of
like a fucking volcano. Yeah. Fucking pathetic.
You're lucky you didn't die there.
I mean, you got some advice. I mean, you are outstanding quite
Yeah.
well.
Kuno's got some advice for you. What are you? Like 80, right? Maybe you should stop embarrassing yourself in front of a fucking kid.
Perhaps you could compress this negative energy and turn it into some sort of a Kuno-fied non-vomiter.
What?
Don't ask questions. Roll with it. It will work. I promise.
Sure, conceptualization. It'll work. Let's see. What's this? This codified shit compressor. I can imagine something that needs to be added to my thought cabinet. The codified shit compressor. I guess. Well, honestly, part of what I'm doing is that is I'm trying to see what does what. Let's see. I'm trying to look up the effects just so that I have some idea of what I'm getting myself into. I mean, it's not like you guys are gonna provide me info on this. Uh-huh. This must be new because I don't see anything related to it. You know what? Cunified non-vomiter, here
That's
I come.
right. Turn your weaknesses into conceptual strengths. Try it again now.
Kuno doesn't fucking care.
Huh. Well, let's see. Okay, conceptualization, let's hope you're right. Hopefully my mind isn't like... just getting up all these tasks, maybe which I will not.
There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body below is entirely dedicated to that corpse smell. Emitting it is all it does now.
Ha ha ha.
You're kidding me!
Again.
The corpse laughs at you, pus dripping. Every time it happens,
Are
it
you-
gets worse and worse.
Are you kidding
There's
me?
nothing more to throw up now. All that's left is crying and convulsing dryly at the same time. Little black bubbles pop on the corpse's lips, decay liquid, like tar. It's like he's gurgling.
Office.
Relax. It's okay if you don't.
That's ridiculous! That's so ridiculous! Normally I would save scum with this because I'm being shafted by... My goodness! I don't believe it! That should not be happening! Well, I guess we better go get more skill points. Well, let's check out our journal. The mental this sad
It's the
display.
ledger you found in the trash. A pitiful cabbage of white and yellow papers hanging from plastic board, barely held together by a metal clip. This sad display is made complete by the faint smell of urinal cleaner.
Anything else?
There's a piece of toilet paper, or is it cleaning tissue? No, it's toilet paper, desperately sticking to the back of the blue plastic clipboard. It's a metaphor for you. Below the pathetics, terror. Do not look into its blue heart.
Inspect the toilet paper.
It's just toilet paper sticking to the back of the plastic clipboard. You can take it off if you want. If you want it to be kitchen tissue, it can be kitchen tissue. It's not though. It's toilet paper.
I'll take it off.
Still wet, the toilet paper, kitchen tissue, peels off the plastic easily. All you have to do is shake it off your finger and voila, the ledger now looks marginally better.
Like the clip.
An aluminium block runs the width of the board. biting down on the paperwork. Its crocodile teeth are the only thing keeping the papers together. A regular pencil, the tip worn down to nothing, has been attached to the clip.
Run your fingers across the
The
aluminum.
surface is interrupted by a silvery sticker. It's rectangular, sparkling with iridescence. You don't know how you didn't notice it before. It is similar to the RCM watermark on your blazer the lieutenant mentioned. Didn't he say something about the headlights of his motor carriage? That you can read these there?
Is this one of the hologram watermarks you mentioned?
What? Yes, halogen watermark used for adding information to RCM property.
Interesting. What kind of
It
information?
depends. Aside from an anti-counterfeiting stamp, mine has my station number and address. The information varies by date of issue.
Maybe yours will have how many cases you've solved. How many years you've been on the force, he's thinking. It'll have that.
What can I read it?
Any capable light with the right wavelength will do.
You mentioned the headlights of your cinema?
Yes, RCM vehicles have headlights tuned especially to reveal halogen watermarks.
This means you can read the watermarks if you just turn the lights on.
That's all. Thank you.
Okay,
He returns to his neatly kept notes.
While a bunch of sodden papers sag from the clipboard in your hand, it's a sorry sight.
Browse the white
They're
paper.
not exactly white. They're yellowed in patches by sunlight and alcohol and covered in dense blue handwriting. Ink escapes into watercolor patterns, reaching its tendrils across entire pages. The paper itself is checkered with faint red lines forming short paragraphs. Once in a while, there's a red stamp that exclaims, "Case files commit to paper." The case files themselves are plenty. You count more than 100 sodden, crumpled up, earmarked pages falling apart in your hands. They appear to be sufficiently organized and extremely dense, if mostly illegible.
Oh, what's in there, Sarah?
Work,
What's that?
strife, poverty, the Jamrock Quarter. These are handwritten logs of investigations dating back to January 51, this year. The exact number is hard to estimate due to missing pages and an odd naming convention. But there are at least 20, maybe 30 cases undertaken, not completed, mind you.
Wait, I have 30 ongoing investigations.
It's the middle of March. You have attempted 2 cases a week on average.
Is 2 cases a week a good caseload, Lieutenant?
Huh? 2 complex cases to undertake is a lot, yes. You really have to push yourself. I would not suggest it, lest you start making mistakes.
Ah, well, 2 cases a week appears to have been my load, Lieutenant. I'm not sure I completed them, though.
2? That's a lot. I didn't mean to say you are making mistakes, by the way. That was presumptuous of me.
I burned out, all right.
That's okay. We all do, sooner or later.
Like a fan of gills, the checkered papers dry in your hand. The handwriting is extremely dense, if mostly illegible.
There was a mention of a naming convention.
Yes, it appears you employ a, shall we say, robust yet literary system. Each investigation has its case number written on the margins. Yet, still more tellingly, most are accompanied by a name. A title, one might say even. One that draws inspiration from snoop fiction and vespertine cop show staples.
Oh my, and they're written in capital letters, too.
Yes, all caps. One is called The Next World Mural. Another, The Square Bullet Hole Murders. Another yet, The Unsolvable Case.
What?
Others appear more light-hearted. The guys on a couch in an unexpected location, and the murder at the hookah parlor. Even the rare article-free collapsing tenement. Murder features prominently throughout.
Oh, apparently I guess I'm in homicide.
It's going to take an effort to piece these case files together, but it can be done. Once you're done inspecting them up close.
Again, my cases appear to employ some kind of naming convention.
You mean the alphanumeric? Officer, precinct, time of arrival at the scene?
No, I meant like in a non-numeric one with titles.
Oh, you mean the titular? Yes, well, so do I. In our defense, almost everyone in the RCM does.
Why is that?
It's a holdover from the early days of the RCM. right after the revolution, when the organization had little idea how to do things. It persists in an unofficial capacity. Officers use these titles to refer to their work among themselves.
They seem to have named a case the Square Bullet Hole Murders.
Again, in your defense, I seem to have named one the man with the hole in his head. That was a real person. His death was real. Still, I named it that, to amuse myself. I pray his loved ones never find out.
What happened to him, anyway?
Rail spiked through the head. He died. It was a workplace accident.
Oh. I have to open an official case. Is there room?
There is, for precisely one more. 15 pages near the end remain untouched by the damage. The checkered grid forms a structure of passages, breaking the case into subtasks to accomplish. Once all the tasks are accomplished, the case is complete.
Oh. I'm gonna go back
Like
to
a
the
fan
case
of
files.
gills, the checkered papers dry in your hand. The handwriting is extremely dense,
The reason
if
that
mostly illegible.
the reason I'm not going to name it right now is because, well, that's going to include naming it, and I want you guys to help me name it. Like, I figure you
You
want to vote
don't
on it.
exactly close them, so much as distance yourself from the smelly papers. They're a little further from your nose now.
Browse the yellow
In the
papers.
back, you see thin, translucent copier paper. Some neon yellow, some bright red, all covered in boxes, like marching armies. These look like official forms, waiting to be filled out. Then rip them from the binder and hand them out, according to type of form.
What types of forms are
3.
there?
The topmost are misconduct fines, the middle ones are station calls, and the bottommost are field autopsy forms. Each is easy enough to make sense of. You don't have to be an intellectual giant to do police work.
That is... Actually, I'm not quite sure if that's probably not a good... We've seen in real life, that's not a good thing.
A monetary penalization ranging from 20 to 250 real. Severe cases allow for 1,000 real, but that requires special paperwork. The details of issuing these fines are spread out over the rest of the fields. But they appear pleasantly vague.
So if we know how to do things well, we can...
These are quite sinister in tone. They give a date and time for the person to appear at the specified precinct police station. Below the call are the criminal charges you risk by not appearing.
So basically, it's it's basically subpoena, something like that.
A dozen pages of thin copy paper, bright red in color. You see the parameters of a deceased human form waiting to be filled in. Age, sex, condition of internal organs.
Enough of these.
Yes, all that remains now is to fill those forms and hand them to people. Fines for wrongdoers, interview requests for bad guys, and field autopsies to dead guys. The rest of the stinking cellulose is much worse for wear. Being sandwiched between the board and the rest of the paperwork must have spared the fragile copier paper.
Oh.
It's made of dark blue plastic, hard enough to beat someone to submission with. The edges are rounded, however. The U4 size board feels thick and heavy in your hand. Light shimmers on its wet surface. On the back you see the embossed letters, RCM.
What did you say the color was?
Blue. The blue heart. Don't look into it.
Oh.
Something rattles inside, ever so lightly. Is there a hidden compartment? Permeables. It's not hidden per se. The compartment is made for permeable materials that would get damaged if something happened to it. The plastic shimmers like lapis lazuli, but it is not see-through. You cannot see to its center.
How would I open
With
it?
your hands, U4-sized pages hang from the clip screwed to the top of the board.
Long way home reduces my ability to open it, apparently. Smell the
The
ledger.
acidic stench of rotting food is rubbed off on the cellulose. It now forms the base of the experience. This base surrounded by a faint air of spoiled meat, the stuff of death itself. And then, sprinkled liberally, with the citrus zest of toilet cleaner.
Oh, that doesn't sound so great.
Yes, you can piece them together
I succeeded
using
this in the first try, but not the
alphanumeric
other
code
one?
on the margin. It always begins with HDB 41, then date of initialization and time of arrival on the scene, followed by the title.
Wait,
For
HBD4.
example, HDB 41120111700, the Next World Mural.
Wait, HB41, weren't those Officer Precinct?
Why, yes, your precinct number is 41.
And HDB?
Every last alphanumeric in the files begins with it. And these are your case files. It's safe to say HDB are your initials.
Wow, I don't know what to say to that.
I got nothing here either. Logic really isn't the best faculty to have this conversation with. But it's the one you got. So sorry.
Well, you're doing your best, Logic.
Yeah, we're staying out of this business for now. HDB is bad news from yesteryear. It's shit, Honcho.
How long does it take to read
It
a
takes
case?
about half an hour to piece one together, using the system you've devised. Where do you want to start?
We've got limited time, so we can
Not
come back
much has
later.
changed in the meanwhile. A bunch of sodden papers still sags from the clipboard.
Put the ledger away. Oh! Hey, we've got new skill points. We'll spend those later. Meantime, we need to get more skill points, because we'll need to increase hand-eye coordination, for reasons that you will eventually understand. Now, let's speak to this young child, who for some reason is standing out here.
Hello, sir. Step right in. The store is open.
A young girl with chubby red cheeks waves at you, smiling. Her nose is also red from the cold.
Are
Hello!
you interested in a new and exciting book?
She stomps her feet to feel warmer. She is cold. To be fair, she doesn't look that well dressed. I mean, well, none of us are well dressed, but she's a child, so she probably doesn't have like as good of internal heating or whatever. What kind of store is this anyway?
It's a bookstore, sir. We sell books, postcards, and some board games. It's called Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People.
Ah, right over there. The name's kind of a mouthful. I think you'd want to like something a bit better of a book name.
Books? Postcards? Easy. Even a kid would know all of this.
Yeah, it feels inappropriate to lecture this girl.
Don't be a fool. As an expert, it's your duty to tell what you know to everyone.
Hey now, I already made up my mind.
Sir, are you okay? You've been standing here silently for a while now.
Is it okay if I ask you some questions?
Okay, sir. I'll try to answer any questions you have. I hope they're about books.
What is your name?
My name is Annette, sir. My mum, her name is Plaisance. She owns the store. She's inside minding the register or organising the stock.
The girl gazes at the window, then suddenly jolts, her eyes wide from recalling something.
Feel free to step in and browse our wares.
And you're standing out here in the cold because...
I'm signalling that the store is open. Otherwise, people might not know. They'd miss out on the crime, romance, and biographies of famous people.
You could just have an open sign, then you wouldn't have to stand out in the cold. Just like stick like a sign, like hang it on like a post or something, or stick it by the window. Or something like that.
A sudden gush of wind turns the pages of the books on the counters. She covers her face, smiling. But she's cold.
I could help by brutally dismantling the free market. We get it. We'll actually get XP if we become communists, so.
Thank you, sir. I'm glad to help Mum out with the store.
She doesn't seem to understand what she said.
My name is Annette. Feel free to step in and I'm signalling that...
A sudden gush of wind
You're cold.
turns the pages of the books.
Oh, no, sir. I'm happy to help Mum by luring in customers. Besides, I have some hot juice in my vacuum bottle to keep warm.
I don't think that's sufficient. Shouldn't she be at school or something?
I do my studies at home at the moment. I have to help Mum keep this place running.
To be fair, Rivershall probably has crap school. Do we even have school in Rivershall? That's a good question.
Mum says it's necessary to do both because it builds character. Mum says a proper worker is dutiful. That's how you get ahead in life. You succeed.
I'm pretty sure that hasn't worked out for, like, pretty much about everyone in Revachol, and IRL, that doesn't exactly work for most people. I mean, I'm pretty sure if that was the case, half of Africa would be like millionaires by now.
There is stress and unease behind these words. She's reciting etiquette.
She knows.
Mum says it's peachy. She was a little afraid at first. There's talk about this house being cursed.
Behind her, the window has been boarded up. You sense the boards creaking, twisting for a second, and some kind of doubt in her tense shoulders.
Cursed? In what way?
Cursed in the way that makes them say that no business has ever really thrived here, sir. That they all go
Bankrupt.
Exactly. But we've been doing fine so far.
This sounds... I don't think... Well, side quest. I think we should look into this. Dun, 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 dun.
We can go into the bookstore and ask about the case, but I don't see much more to look into here.
Fair enough.
Yes. Please do also look at our wares inside. The postcards and board games are there, sir.
What do you know about the other failed businesses?
Nothing really, sir. Mum doesn't allow me to sneak around in the back rooms or the cellar. I don't really know what's there.
Chuck's disappointed about that. How does the curse manifest itself?
It does not manifest itself in any way. It does not exist. I liked it better when we were talking about whether it's appropriate to stand out in the freezing weather.
But can the frantic manifestation?
No such thing.
Anything else you wanted to talk about, sir?
Enough about the curse.
Maybe I can tell you about some of our books instead.
Alright, what is this crime business?
Crime fiction is about murders or burglaries or things like that, and the work of a policeman or a private detective who's trying to solve a crime and catch the criminals.
Wait, not crime fiction. I don't even know what crime is. That bad.
Crime is what we were solving before this conversation began.
Fair enough, Kim. Why would anyone want to read about
It's
crime?
exciting to people, I guess. They get to imagine dangerous things, and it's kind of like a puzzle, where you can guess who the criminal is, or how the good guys are going to catch him.
I'm a policeman myself, by the way.
You don't look much like a policeman.
She examines you to find something police-like. Oh, well, how does a cop look like
Didn't
that?
mean to offend, sir. Sorry, sir. It's just that you don't look like Dick Mullen.
It's not your body that's... Well, time for me to... Well, Nobody looks like the guy in the picture. That's a stupid fantasy for a man. It's not your body that's important police work. It's your...
Head? Yes.
No, it's your soul. Your blue soul.
Shut up, authority. Don't go back to blue on me here.
Not head, child. Heads.
And you need to get into their heads. Sometimes you gotta be the killer to catch the killer. I'm going to go with drama because authority is just an asshole.
Isn't that very dangerous?
Policeman, live and breathe. Danger, little girl. Melon obviously lacks the
Unlike
skill.
you, sir. He's just a fictional character. He's no match for you. Maybe you can show me some real police work, sir. Like in the books.
What? Okay, composure. I think these are improving my composure. What is this? What is romance?
It's the type of book where there's a rich lady and she has to choose between the good man and the bad man.
Why does it have to be a rich lady?
Or there could be a story about a poor lady getting a rich man. It's about man and lady business, sir.
What about a poor man getting a rich lady?
It happens, but usually the guy gets rich in the process. Or should actually be rich himself, but has lost his family property unjustly, like during the revolution or something.
Huh?
Those are unhappy books, for most of the pages. People sad about what they have lost, but then it all turns out just fine in the end.
Basically, it's like cliche garbage. Like, basically, it's sounds almost like bourgeoisie propaganda to an extent. How about when both of the men are
These
bad?
are not very common. You can't have a choice between bad and bad. Nobody wants to read a story like that.
What if it's written really well?
Well, maybe then it's fine. Maybe if the lady then decides not to pick either, because she doesn't need a bad man. Yes, that would be interesting.
You see? What about when everyone is
That's
poor?
really not a proper romance story. That's more like everyday life.
Sometimes you have to write about real life things. I mean, art is a reflection of reality, so we can understand reality.
Not in romance books, sir. These are about nice and pretty people, and everyone is happy in the end.
Wait, we're not nice and can't be pretty? What about a book where the men and lady business doesn't work out at all?
I haven't read many of those. Maybe you should ask Mum.
Yeah, do you think she has one about an excruciatingly painful breakup? This isn't on the nose at all.
I don't think it's a romance story if the main characters break up, though.
I don't think I need to traumatize this kid, so...
Sometimes they break up for a little while, but then they always get back together.
Life doesn't work like that,
Maybe
kid.
some about other books.
What about early famous people?
Kings and queens and generals of old, or artists and writers, or musicians, those kinds of people.
Wait,
There's usually something extraordinary about them.
You got something by Krasmezov?
I think that's why people read them, to find the secrets of their fame.
Not to find about their ideas?
It seems like most people who read those books fail to get more famous from reading them.
Reading doesn't make the readers more famous, does it?
But it does make the famous people more famous.
What should I say? Maybe something from a book about
Why would
me.
they do that, sir? You're not that old. Maybe you'll do something really important, something that wows the world.
You think so?
Yes, there's hope. A lot of famous people got famous late, or even after they've died.
Yeah. You're certainly the type who might find fame posthumously. Who knows? You might even get famous for the manner of your death.
Maybe fame isn't that important after all.
Maybe not. No one needs a book written about them anyway. It's always better to read books.
You can stop calling me sir. I am but a working man.
No, sir, I can't. It would be too tiring to refrain from it. It's already tiring enough to remember to say it all the time. It's nice of you to say I could stop, though.
I get you. For example, I can't stop making this face. Yeah, okay, yeah, when the next person comes, you have to say sir or ma'am them again.
Yes, sir.
Let's see about... Okay, I'll see you around. Let's see if we can do something. Impress the kid. And we're gonna need to find another way to get money, because... Oh, buddy! We don't have that 100 real we need.
Hello again, sir.
Okay, I'm gonna do something now.
The girl keeps her hands folded, hidden.
Hey,
Why is that?
Hey, why do you keep your hands
What do you
folded?
mean, sir?
She looks weary.
She knows where this is going.
You don't need to be worried. I'm here to help. I'm totally here to help. I mean, usually cops are not here to help, but at least I actually try to help people.
She looks around anxiously. Her hands remain folded in front of her. She doesn't want to show them.
Oh gosh.
The lieutenant stands by, looking at the two of you with little interest.
It could actually be important.
A facade of true professionalism. He is far more intrigued by the situation than his poise reveals.
It's okay.
She brings out her reddened hands, her nails frayed, nearly chewed down to the flesh.
Oh my gosh.
And you knew this from me
Bite
keeping
your
my
nails.
hands folded?
There were a few other hints.
Well, that proves nothing. Anyone could do an easy deduction like that.
Want more? I bet I can figure out why you bite your nails. I got a few reasons.
She
why.
nods, half provocative, half enthusiastic.
Just the way of the words that first. Tight because of the way your mother and the pressure she's putting on you.
Maybe so, sir. Okay, I know it's a bad habit, and I shouldn't.
Either way, another ace detection by the #1 detective in town.
It was okay, sir.
You still got it.
There's more that can be achieved here. Ask her to do the same.
Think so? Do something
You're
about me.
quite sober.
Sounds
The
factual.
lieutenant does not flinch at the comment. He does not flinch even a single bit. He is intensely not flinching. It takes effort.
Wait, how do you know I'm usually not?
Because you usually aren't.
I'm having a grand. I'm also sad. My head hurts.
I'm sorry, sir. I hope things get better soon.
What's you in a gleam of something?
There she stands, swaying on her feet, assaulted by the early spring breeze. She smiles at you. The whole situation suddenly feels familiar. Somehow, there's something you're missing.
Why does this feel familiar?
You have absolutely no idea. Familiar? How? You must have forgotten something you heard again.
Oof. Okay, see you around, Internet. We'll go talk to her mom later. For now, let's keep running around. Let's talk. Let's see. There should be someone on the boat around here. It'll be useful for us if we can talk to them. Who is this person? What's this, a red paint?
The streets will flow red once more. A great torrent rushing down Rue de Esperance. You wait and see.
The girl stares at the sailboat by the pier.
The streets will not flow red with anything. Who are you?
I'm Cindy the fucking Skull. What else do you want to know? Date of birth, blood type, the last time I was tested for Hep C.
Let's start and go from there. We just want to know your name, little lady. No need to get defensive.
And here I was trying to be polite. Just can't win with you pigs.
Despite the theft, she puts the brush aside. What are you looking at?
She nods disdainfully toward the woman performing maintenance on the boat docked next to the pier. Hatred? Disgust? It's difficult to tell which of the two is more present in her girlish features.
The woman on the boat does not notice her staring.
That is on her.
The woman on the boat does not notice her staring.
Someone's got to keep an eye on her. She didn't say that.
Ozon is an archipelago 2 days' travel away from Rivershore. Its moneyed residents, used to posh restaurants and upscale boutiques, rarely have reason to visit Martinez.
Ah, so basically the rich people. And they don't come down around here unless there's something for them. Who is she?
Probably the Wild Pines rep. We should talk to her. She's a professional negotiator, though. I have the feeling she will be very cooperative while telling us nothing.
Ah, those types. I'm happy to help the police detective. Now I'm going to not answer anything because I'm probably the biggest criminal around here.
You should take the lead. Ask her unexpected questions, Do your thing. Don't be afraid to get a bit wacky. Throwing her off is our best bet.
Huh. I wouldn't expect you to be approving of
Good
my craziness.
idea, piggies. Run along now. Fuck her shit up good. Impound that boat while you're at it. I'd like to watch her swim back to Ozon.
What are you doing to the wall?
Can't you tell? I'm painting a beautiful mural, an aereo graffitio visible from low orbit. I haven't really started it yet. I'm waiting for the right words.
So, you don't know what to write?
Have you ever tried your hand at graffitio? When faced with a blank wall, most people write unimaginative stuff, like pigs go home and Mona was here. We rarely see pigs round here, though. Just union cards. And my name's not Mona, so...
She wants it to be something true and total.
Why are you community facing the building?
This place is severely lacking in havoc. Not even the occasional trash can fire to break up the tedium.
So she's basically one of those anarchy is chaos types.
I thought I'd mix it up. You know, summon the forces of crime and social chaos with a wall-sized invitation.
I have an opinion. Want to hear it?
Yeah?
I love public art. Don't mind this. Keep doing what you're doing. Actually, man, graffiti actually often is artwork and it can help color the place. And it provides a message of the community.
Thanks. I'm sure the inspiration will come to me now that I have an official RCM stamp of approval.
She means the opposite.
Makes me want to do
You've
less.
lessened her desire to deface the building.
Actually, a real life story. There is a case where me and some others were protesting an ICE facility, and the cops, their response was to be nice to us, and it honestly threw us off course. And that probably was the biggest thing they could do to, I guess, discourage us. It was also extremely odd because cops are typically not nice to left-wing protesters. You know anything about the recent murder?
I ain't no snitch, pigstein. Go forth and forage in someone else's shit. No shortage of squealers in these parts.
Not really.
Actually, there is a shortage of people who talk to us in a normal, calm, informative manner.
We weren't put on this earth to make your life pleasant, fucko.
Catch you later,
Watch
Cindy.
your back, ungulate. You've got eyes on you.
Actually, that's probably true around here. Let's see. Let's speak to Rich Lady. By the dock. Uh-huh. We need more clothes so we can...
A striking woman leans against the cabin top of her sailing boat, smiling as you approach. Her green raincoat glistens with droplets. A silk scarf is tied around her throat.
Good afternoon, officers. I'm Joyce.
Extends her hand in greeting.
Joyce L. Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbour. You gentlemen must be from the RCM.
Joyce, what does the L stand for?
Peyton, my maiden name. Nothing, honestly. I've said it to every drunk in town, and you're the first one who's responded.
What is implied here? That you're a drunk? She hasn't actually said it to every drunk in town. It was spoken in jest.
I meant you, the Revachol Citizens Militia, the police.
Take her hand.
I'm glad to see you here.
Her grip is tight and cold.
Like steel. There is strength there. If she wanted, she could sink her nails deep into your skin.
Ew, that's not a
I
comforting
was
image.
dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to assist the RCM in this matter, I will, gladly.
Probably not.
That is good to hear, madame. My colleague will take the lead on this interview. I should let you know that he is recovering from an unusual medical episode. Very unusual. But I can assure you of his ultimate competency.
There's a trace of irony in his voice. Mischief, even. This is a tactic.
How interesting. I wish you a swift recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my full cooperation, and the full cooperation of the Wild Pines group.
Oh, probably not, but let's see.
Why, yes I am.
People on boats, are there?
Of course there are. We're on an archipelago. How else are you supposed to get around?
What do you mean archipelago?
I mean, we are on Le Caillou, are we not?
Technically, the neighboring Ozone and Fas Alamer island groups are archipelagos, while La Caillou, by contrast, is a single fertile landmass, the fourth largest island in the world. It is not an archipelago.
I thought that Kalu was one of the big islands.
Okay, if you want to get technical, the point is we're all on islands here, and sail is still the most expedient way to get from one island to another, especially when you're in a hurry to resolve a strike.
Still, I haven't seen anyone else sailboat around here.
I haven't seen anyone else drive a souped-up Capri Kenema motor carriage either.
Actually, that motor carriage has been specially issued to serve as a patrol and pursuit vehicle. It's for crossing long distances in the greater Ravachol industrial harbor. It's not a toy.
Neither is this. A toy, I mean. It's a machine for crossing long distances in the Bay of Revachol, between the city and the islands.
You need to make this lady admit she's only riding around on this boat because she's rich.
Yes, I do.
Before you do, it will be pertinent to ask other questions. Gather more info on this boat of hers.
Does she have a name?
Boat? No. It is called Cordelati 19 because that's the type of sloop it is.
The word "it" feels strange. Such a beautiful boat deserves a proper name.
Ooh, but your boat really needs a
Okay.
name.
How about Cordelati 19? Why? Because it was manufactured in Revachol East by a company called Cordelati, and its hull is 19 paces long.
What about Sleekfish?
What?
Go sleek and fish
I
like.
think I'll stick with the factory name. But thank you.
What kind of boat
It's
is
a
it?
pleasure craft, a 19-pacer. It also happens to be rated for Category 1 racing. Though these days I mainly use it for business.
How do you like
My
it?
sloop? I like it a lot. It's the eel's hips, baby.
I'm enjoying this part of the interview. It has so little to do with the murder we're investigating.
I really do, the lieutenant thinks. Is she thrown off yet? He's looking at the woman, assessing her.
You have a license for this boat?
Officer, I assure you I'm a highly qualified pleasure craft operator.
The crowns of her teeth are porcelain, white as the boat's hull as she smiles. Her nonchalance might be related to something called the Wayfarer Act, a law that says she doesn't need a license. Sly fox, you're not aggressive enough to harass her further on this.
Let's go talk about the economics of this boat. You're going for the kill.
Oh my, the E word. You mean to say that it's a symbol of conspicuous consumption? That I'm a member of the ruling class?
Yeah, yes, class wartime, baby.
Detective, may I remind you that Mrs. Messier is a professional negotiator.
You don't look like you think you'll best her in single
Then
combat.
what does that say? Does it say docking reserved for residents of Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 33A? 33A, this old proletarian haunt here. As I said, plenty of people drive boats, of all social strata.
I didn't invest in reaction speed. No.
Your synapses flash.
Yay! This helped. This house was built before. Funny, I don't see any other eel heels around.
You mean eel's hips. But point taken. I am a bourgeois woman, and this is my fast, light, interminably bourgeois boat.
There is no shame in her voice. A touch of sadness, yes, but no shame.
I made my point, and it seems like that she is not ashamed of it.
Good.
Tell me about Wild Pines. What do you do?
What we do. I'm afraid I don't speak for Wild Pines as a whole. It's a giant undertaking.
There was a touch of discomfort there. She wants to merely represent.
What do they do?
The Pines' core competency is logistics. Container shipping, freight, that sort of thing. See those airships there, blinking? Those are the shipping side of things. And that is the terminal. Another subdivision deals with energy, oil and gas exploration, offshore platforms.
The Wild Pines Group is one of the original Revacholian Indo-tribes. Companies awarded royal monopolies by the king, the suzerain himself, centuries ago. The king is long gone, but several of the Indo-tribes remain.
Who are the other Indo-tribes?
Son Baptiste, LUM, an unknown entity known as Brightest Star.
You're in good company.
Why,
it
thank
seems.
you.
You just not register the real meaning of the remark. How much money does Wild Pines
I'm
have?
not at liberty to discuss the company balance sheet, but I can tell you that last year the company booked more than 20 billion real in revenue.
The money I owe is much less.
Yes, past a certain point, numbers begin to seem imaginary, but they are quite real for the 72,000 employees who depend on Wild Pines for their paychecks. A conglomerate the size of Wild Pines is like a shark. If it stops moving and growing, it will die. Then what becomes of those 72,000 families? It is a tremendous responsibility.
Well, the shark only gets food from eating other fish. So maybe there's a way to do it. Out!
They started as an exploration and cargo fleet conducting trade between the Samaran and Insulindian Isolas 250 years ago, when pine ships explored the South Seminese and charted Lomantang on behalf of the suzerain. Centuries of care, deliberation, and madness have gone into this endeavor. Vessels pass through the great unrest to re-emerge with apricots in tow. The logic of the system is totalizing. It's taken everything from its employees to build it.
Probably helps to start out with a royal monopoly.
You know more than you let on. Certainly it helped, but most of the original Indo tribes have failed or been absorbed. To survive, Wild Pines had to grow and adapt. No suzerain did that.
What does a huge system want with a place like this?
You mean aside from being the terminal's legal owners, who are responsible for moving 8% of the world's cargo?
Companies, you don't keep it moving, the workers do. The company's nothing without
We
them.
built this district.
We. There it is. She owns up to it.
All the best parts of it. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, with its bastions, the plazas Meteor and Mosaic, even some of the old street lamps have been put back thanks to the investments from the WP. Before Martinez was swallowed by the industrial harbour, even before it was part of Revachol, long before Terminal B was erected here, the Pines built it as a resort for its Revacholian employees.
Oh.
A company getaway, for a weekend or a summer holiday. Then came the revolution. But that's another matter. I'm here to make sure the Pines can fulfill their responsibilities to the place they built.
With your help, hopefully, says her warm tone.
We'll see about that. Wait a minute, why is my suggestion lowered? Bonus from items. Must be my shirt or jacket or something. What can you tell me about this strike?
Everything. Right up to, but not including, trade secrets.
What if I want to hear about these trade
First,
secrets?
you'd have to repeal the Emergencies Act of Trade in Aliments. That gives me the right to silence. It's quite the octopus.
An octopus, I will slay
Good
it!
luck is only kept in place by the vested interests of half the civilized world, including your own.
What the ma'am means is that the Emergencies Act and the RCM both get their authority from the coalition government.
You'd be shooting yourself in the foot, in other words.
But I am derailing us. You wanted to know about the strike.
What's your role
I
in this
believe the
precisely?
official title is Senior Labour Negotiator. In practice, I'm a grocery clerk. I relay the union's demands to Wild Pines and return with Wild Pines' counteroffer.
You seem rather high paid for someone.
And how are the talks going?
They're not. That's the problem. The union stopped all negotiations a week ago, after that awful lynching took place. Now they won't even let me into the harbour. There's a 2-meter 20 racist behemoth blocking the gates.
Tell us about this behemoth.
What can I say? The union employs a giant covered in tattoos. A racist giant. I guess that's part of their big tent organization now.
What?
Let's say I was not making the kind of progress I'd hoped for when I first arrived.
And when did you first arrive?
I arrived 3 weeks ago. Yes, in the middle of February. The bay was still partially frozen then. I prefer to do these things on site, like the RCM.
But the strike began in December.
Looks as no.
I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gaumont despite concessions he'd granted the union in prior negotiations.
It'll be a bit hard to get into the union place, which is why we haven't gone to them yet. But I do prefer them over this lady.
This isn't the first time the union has gone on strike.
Heavens no. There have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the union won significant concessions, including overtime pay and a medical plan. This time their demands are more, I guess you could say, aggressive.
Ludicrous even. It's meant.
What's happened to this
Mr. Clare told him to... How did he put it? Fuck off, midget. Gaumont is short of stature, you see.
Cool.
Yes. Extremely. Keep in mind, this is a negotiator Mr. Clare has worked with before, and who was more than fair with him and the union.
Sounds like usual aggressive posturing.
What are their demands?
There are leaflets everywhere, and banners. What did they say again? Oh yes. Every worker, a member of the board.
Most of the workers probably don't know what that means.
I like
Then
it.
you might also like their other slogan. Demand democracy.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Personally, I don't think it has the same pizzazzo as every worker, a member of the board.
So they're seizing the means of production.
It's quite simple, you see. Every time the Wild Pines group makes a decision about what, about anything really, it needs the signature of each of the 2,200 workers in its Martinez terminal. Just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they are also kings of the 72,000 employees of Wild Pines Group.
The king is dead. Long live the worker.
That may well be. It's not up to me to decide who is king, but as negotiations go, it's not a swell start.
The union is literally seizing the means of production. This is pretty
I'm
cool.
not sure. Naturally, I assume that was just their opening position, a hard-nosed tactic with a side of mockery. But there's been no follow-up, just the same nonsensical slogan repeated over and over again. And now, people are getting lynched, I hear. Behind the whirling in rags. A disastrous situation if there ever was one.
Excuse me, from whom did you hear about this lynching?
I first heard it from the boyer at the gates. The one whose very name advertises his aversion to work. I think he said it was, "Call me mañana."
This checks out.
Tell me about the union boss, Mr.
Everard
Clare.
Clare is a man of the utmost integrity. If you can say one thing about him, it's that he always puts the interests of the workers first.
Really?
Of course not. Everard is fantastically corrupt. I imagine he has a thick, viscous goo where you and I have blood.
Well, she is the head of the company, so of course she'd be biased against him.
He is the most corrupt individual I have ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. If there is anyone more venal, more irredeemably nepotistic, then it's his twin brother, Edgar.
Wait, there's two of them?
Yes, Edgar looks exactly like his brother, except for that lazy eye. He also talks exactly like Everard does, and when one's term as foreman is up, the other takes over. It's how they circumvent the term limits, you see, with a funny little switcheroo. While in office, they've embezzled God knows how much of their workers' dues.
What about the union itself, outside the Brothers
The
Square?
Débardeurs Union was once a perfectly normal institution. 20 years ago, anyway. It must not have been easy to establish under the Emergency Act, but they did it. I can respect that. Organised labour at its best, as they say. Then something happened in the local chapter elections. The brothers Claire came and transformed it into a...
A mob. The debarders are a crime syndicate. Sad as it may be, I suspect we'll be forced to cooperate with them.
Oh, don't forget, that could just be propaganda from the government and the company.
Refreshingly honest, officer. The company has tried appeasing in the past, but I'm afraid our concessions have only emboldened Everard and his brother.
She turns to you.
And your opinion, detective, if I may ask? I'm a curious and talkative person, you see.
We can
Would
be
you
reaction.
say the Debarders Union is...
We can be reactionary, but we're going to go with effective adequate rights to local.
Why do you think so?
There's actually going to be. I think there's something. If we had the communist thought, we probably could.
Ha! A real man of the left. What else can I tell you about?
One more thing. We said something happened in the election.
I'm glad you asked. There was a woman, the previous forewoman of the Union. She disappeared.
Disappeared?
Yes. On the last day of the local chapter elections, her daughter phoned in and said she wasn't running anymore, or coming to work. Ever. End of story.
Okay, that actually is kind of
Downright haunting, if you ask me. The Wild Pines suspected foul play, but what could they do? It was a union matter. The point of the presentation is, these kinds of things happen around the Clares. Watch out when you're dealing with him.
Thank you for your concern, ma'am. We'll be just fine.
What?
Of course. How else can I help?
What can you tell me about the lynching?
Quite a few things, I'm afraid. The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your names and badge numbers.
Of course, ma'am. We should have introduced ourselves. I am Lieutenant Kitsuragi from Precinct 57. And this is my colleague from Precinct 41. I'm afraid he doesn't have his badge at the moment. I hope mine will suffice.
How curious. Why is that, Detective?
Awkwardness washes over the conversation. The woman doesn't like this turn of events.
Remember my partner told Joy I'd recently suffered from an unusual medical episode? My lost badge is related to it.
I see. So, are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode?
It's possible. I don't remember anything. This world, this city, nothing.
Oh dear. Some kind of encephalopathic amnesia. I don't even know how to respond. I do believe you, naive as that may sound. I simply can't imagine what you gain by faking such a condition.
As I said, ma'am, his technique may be very unconventional, but he is an officer of the RCM.
Of course, I sympathize, but I'm afraid I simply can't share anything more until I've seen that badge.
She's a professional negotiator. She should be open to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement.
What kind of arrangement would it be?
I mean, favors for favors. A dirty alliance of some sort. Consider this. Perhaps she has been planning it all along. That you convince yourself into colluding with her.
Oh gosh.
Of course. But before we do, officers, let me be perfectly clear. The situation is extremely volatile. The sooner we can speak about this lynching business, the better for all of us.
I didn't feel comfortable about that role. You seem smart. I need someone to give me a lowdown on this reality we're in.
This reality?
She pulls her hood closer to her neck. Oh, she actually is wearing it like a hood.
Yes, reality is your side case. An experimental side case.
I'm conducting a personal investigation into the world I find myself in. What is that? Actually, remember the most basic of terms.
Ah, yes. The episode. Sounds like an acute case of encephalopathy, now that I think of it.
She puts down her thermal.
Don't be phased, madame. He functions perfectly well. He only needs a lowdown on all of reality.
We may be here a while then. Ask away, officer. I'll help however I can.
Hey, you did promise me that you would cooperate and help however you could.
All right, we're in. I know these all look good, but begin with the first, okay?
Alright, where are we?
We're in Martinez, baby.
Maybe.
A casual term of endearment popular among the 50-plus crowd. It's a disco holdover, pay it no heed.
By the way, we're about to get a lot of lore, so brace yourself for that. I'm a disco holdover myself.
Aren't we all?
She refers to your corresponding ages.
Martinez is a district of Revachol. A very small district tucked away near the industrial harbour, north of the 881 and Jamrock. You would be excused for not knowing about it. Unimportant, they say. Forgotten even. Shelled to smithereens during the Revolution. It has its charms, just not this time of year.
Tell me more about Martin.
I'm not a good ambassador. I've only been here once before, as a teenager. Not a lot has changed. There are ruins, a terminal, fishing boats, reeds, boys with boxy shoulders. As I told you, Martinez used to be a province, a workers' resort before the city swallowed it and the artillery did its part. Now the reeds are the real star of the show here. The further down the coast, the wilder it gets.
You mentioned a city. What sea is this?
It's not really a sea, it's the Bay of Revachol. And the bay feeds into the ocean.
Are we near the ocean?
Yes. We're on an island in an ocean, the world's largest body of water, the Insulindic.
Known to the early Revacholians as Les Immensités Bleues, the blue immensities. Vast, lukewarm and unknowable, flowing in and out of sight.
What's the name of this island?
Caillou, as you already know. Imagine a pebble. A smoothed over pebble amidst a great blue sea, misshapen, cracked. The cracks are the river Esperance. We're in the delta of this river on the 6th branch, the Martinez distributary.
It is clear this pebble is of enormous value to her and to humanity at large.
Okay, that's Martinez. What's Revachol?
Revachol? Revachol is what you call a city.
What kind of city is Revachol?
Great kind.
As if it's self-explanatory, beyond patriotism, a fact.
What makes Revachol
History
great?
detective. They built this city to resolve history. Our part in it, at least. Our centuries.
Who built this city?
The nations of the Occident, or migrant workers from Seminine and Ile Marat, depending on your creed.
When was Revachol built?
In the DeLorean century. 380 years ago.
And then why will it resolve
They
history?
say it's where the terrible questions of our time will be answered. The tensions are highest, the fault lines deepest. By that I mean conflicts. Ideological conflicts. The stuff of men.
Why here?
We are standing on a fertile, self-sufficient island able to sustain up to 200 million people in the middle of the Insulindic Ocean, the world's connective tissue. It's where the money is.
I see. This place is a very strategic, both basically it's a strategic site for politically as well as economically. So we're in an unimportant part of an important place. So we're in pretty much the center of the world?
Oh, we're quite a way off. About
What's the pressure?
22 kilometers from the center of the world. That soldering iron is the bank of the world building. The bottom floors are Insiacom. Coalition government, Insulindian Mission Command.
Silence. She lowers her hand. The water, the light. It's as though you're seeing it for the first time.
Where are we?
We are where we are. I have no truer answer to give, unfortunately.
This will be useful. We must internalize it. the... Yes, this will be extremely useful. We need to...
This is one thought you need to complete. Where are you?
Was there something else you wanted to know? I remember something about a lowdown.
This has been informative. Thank you, ma'am. I'm sure my memory-impaired partner has many more questions to ask, about even more fundamental aspects of reality. Might I suggest not asking them all right now? Messier will be here later too, and tomorrow. Isn't that true, ma'am?
Absolutely. My commitment here is long-term.
Wanna be lazy if I don't do it all now?
Of course not. You are already diligent for getting this far, and diligent boys remember where they left off.
Indeed. I'm always at your service.
That's all for now.
Glad to have been of assistance. The little that I know. Anything else?
Thank you, that's all for now.
Of course, Detective. Take care.
Now, I'm actually going to beg for money later. Let's save. Something's happening.
Hey. Psst.
Look around.
Hey, you. Yes, you. Word on the street is you're ready to start building communism again.
Again?
Yes, you're ready to start building communism again. You've built it before. They've built it before. Hasn't really worked out yet. But neither has love. Should we just stop building love, too?
Can't argue with that.
So, what about all that communism you've promised to build? Word on the street is you've woken up from 1,000 years of slumber, promising to erect a version of communism many times greater than any attempted before. Is that true?
How come there's word on the street?
You keep saying things like, down with the bourgeoisie, eat the rich, sodomize the landowners, impale all people who have more than 25 real in their pocket, literally murder all human beings regardless of their political beliefs. That kind of stuff.
I don't know about the
Oh yes, the mask of ambivalence. Don't deny it. You're about to rip it off and reveal the monstrous seven-eyed lamb of global communism that would devour and masticate mankind. Everyone can see that. So tell me, do you have any questions before we fire up the big communism builder? Or do we get right down to it?
Wait, first, what's this communism even about?
Failure. It's about failure.
What? Failure?
Yes, abject failure. Total, irreversible defeat on all fronts. Absolutely vanquished, beaten, curb-stomped and pissed on. Until you came along. You will reverse the fortune of the workers of the world.
To be fair, there is something... on the left, we really do seem to... all our heroes tend to, well, have lost, and we seem to admire people who've lost. But we don't really seem to... And even when it comes to some of our people today, it seems that in order to get validity, you have to fail. But once someone starts getting successful at actually implementing socialism, they often aren't looked upon so great. I mean, pretty much many people argue that figures such as Bernie Sanders and AOC have pretty much been co-opted by the establishment. And while there is some arguments that they're not being hard enough, at the same time, it seems people are arguing that they are basically that they aren't true leftists because they have power and have gotten into power and thereby have betrayed everything we're about. It almost seems like that if you actually succeed in our goals, you suddenly stop being true. But if you fail to achieve our goals, then you are true. That there is that action. I think that's the whole thing of this.
You alone, against every living thing, against every human alive. 800 trillion real in the hands of an impossibly well-organized ruling class. Towering city blocks of bankmen who have the ears of prime ministers. Million-headed armies of nations and the love of your own mother.
So basically pointing out how we're basically trying to do the impossible. The odds are against us, and we will probably lose, but we will rise anyway. It's pretty much our thing. Like, we are like crushed, but yet we are fighting anyway.
You against the atom, the charm and the spin, where the whole world failed. Matter failed to bend to human will. Human will failed to get out of bed and tie its laces. You alone, single-handedly, will rebuild the dreams of the working class. You are the last communist. Now get to work, comrade.
Time to start building.
Oh yeah, get the firing squads and the animal wagons ready.
What? You didn't say anything about fighting squads?
Too late to back out now. You can't make an omelette without breaking a few million eggs.
Oof. Mavovian socioeconomics. By the way, trust me, the others, they actually aren't really that nice either. Alright, stop with that. And let's internalize Marxian socioeconomics. Ooh. Looks like reaction. You can't calculate things, so everything's reaction. Alright, let's check the time. We still got a few minutes. We'll come back for all these things later. We can get XP once the derealization thought is complete. I know this because I've done it before, and I have a guide. Meantime, let's talk to more people and get more XP. I want 2 skill points. Let's get that kid taken care of. Oh wait, every time we say something communist, we get XP. So we might want to wait for our communism to be completed as well. Who's this dude? Let's talk to him. That's Sarah's sort of this game. We just talk to people.
I am a gander and a hunter and a gatherer. Feel like a traveler.
The man mutters to himself, censoring the beats as he
A
goes.
simple little cadence. He seems to be making it up as he goes.
Keep listening.
From another planet. Hey there.
What's going on
It's
here?
the jam, my man.
What's the jam?
It's a traffic jam for the ages. Harbor gates up the street are shut tight. No explanation given. Workers on strike, scabs agitating, and all around clusterfuck. Meanwhile, we're all stuck here in long haul limbo for days upon days upon days. Upon days.
Limbo, huh?
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah, exactly.
It's official. He too agrees. This is the antechamber of the afterlife.
Oh gosh. How long have you been here?
Feels like forever. Like I was born on this here roundabout and this was all I ever knew. Just me and the metal and the tires, the oil and the fumes of mazout.
Extravagantly phrased, but I can roll with it.
Yeah, imagine. It's been a whole week already.
Vickers.
Behind the laugh, however, a touch of sorrow.
Oh dear.
So tell me, what do you need?
Tell me anything about this strike?
It's like, whatever's going on over at the docks. Workers got a blockade set up, making demands, no way in or out.
What's he
Some
demanding?
pretty wild stuff, I hear. Like a giant new power crane in half the company? I forget what exactly. Good on them, I guess. I've heard talk there's a company rep in town too. Like a strike negotiator type. They'd know what's up. Precise demands and so on.
What do you think the company wants?
They want to keep that money flowing in, my man. Ka-ching.
He doesn't blame them, but he's not on their side. That's for sure.
Anything else I should know?
Anything else? Yeah, this ain't really my area of expertise. I just do my job and get paid. I have things to do and places to be. All of us do.
All of
Us
who?
lorry drivers. Cam, your nurse. If you still hang around here waiting for this mess to end, most have scurried off somewhere to get drunk or high. Or laid. Not that I blame them, really.
Not you?
Not my thing. Chasing transient pleasures is a drag these days. I prefer the examined life now. Thinking, reflecting, observing.
He glanced down the road towards the horizon, a glint of something in his eyes.
He tries his best to look nonchalant, but there's a rigidity in him, as if trying to conceal something warm and deep beneath a cool exterior.
Do you know anything about the dead man? The one hanging in the hostel there?
He ain't one of us drivers. I know that. All accounted for. Otherwise, I haven't really asked about that. Been wasting time right here. Keep him busy.
It's easy to see he's telling the truth. He's kept his nose out of the dark stuff.
Busy with what?
Analyzing the fundamental structural and psychological conditions of being stranded in the midst of a sea of motor lorries and their sad, despondent chauffeurs.
Wait, what?
Nothing. I'm just messing with you, man. Don't mind my idle verbosity. He ain't one of us.
It's easy to see he's
Analyzing the
Your
fundamental. A
conclusion?
sense of surprise there ain't more bodies hanging from more trees.
Oh. What are you hauling anyway?
Oh, high-grade narcotics, illegal firearms, stuff like that.
Wait.
time to arrest him. Relax. He's merely joking.
Okay, and what are you actually hauling?
Can't even get a few jokes past you, my man. I've got another haul of found cargo. Mostly sporting goods, tracksuits, and that kind of thing. They usually get shipped to Grad and the Occidents. Though we've been making headway in the Il Moran market lately.
So nothing illegal then?
Not unless they've illegalized sports equipment while I was on the road.
Maybe they have.
This rockin' beauty. Sure is. Like a rash you can't get rid of. You interested in heavy-duty cargo machinery?
A motor lorry, also called a camion, on Caillou and neighboring islands. This one looks roughed up enough to be some sort of found rust bucket. Maybe the A6?
Foul A6 got
Good
there?
eye, my man. Yup, she's an old one, but reliable. Me and her spent a long time together.
There it is again. A little touch of sadness beneath his cool. He thinks he's spent too long in this lorry.
You got one of those found tracks you're hauling?
We're pals and all, but I can't just freely hand out the merchandise. The bosses won't be happy.
Random
The
question.
man taps his fingers rhythmically against his arm.
Might as well try.
In his eyes,
Wait,
an unfamiliar
succeed?
longing,
Oh my gosh!
flecks of brown and gold.
I was just doing it for the sake. I was gonna come back later.
It's hard to say. His gaze wanders southwest, down the street that goes beyond the horizon.
What's in the southwest?
Excuse me?
Merges in the river.
A flinch jolts his frame. The question has touched a nerve.
Really, you can tell me.
Man, I don't know what to say. Not much anyone can do. There's no helping in absence, you know. I miss my family. They're all I have. My wife, second kid on the way, waiting all the way in Diora. And here I am stuck in this shit, so far from home. Diora of the Seven Seas. It's on the other end of Le Caillou, pretty much, on another island called Laurentide, off mainland. We've got a little place there. Can almost hear my kid laugh when it snows.
What's it like to miss someone?
What's it like? Good. And bad. An ache that brings you joy. I think of them a lot. I dream up these silly scenarios in great detail of living with them. It comforts me. What about you, Cop Man? You missing someone?
Is that what it is? This feeling?
I miss someone, but I don't know who it is.
I feel for you, my friend. It's bad enough to know who you miss. Missing like that doesn't feel like it has much of an upside. But, thanks for this. It's nice to talk to someone, and I know it wasn't easy to ask. I hope you find your way through your own troubles.
I'm good for now. Good
Don't
luck.
be a stranger.
It's interesting that you can literally talk to like almost anyone. They feel like they have an actual personality. And trust me, the people who don't seem like they're very colorful characters, well, we just haven't talked to them enough yet. Well, except for that guy. I don't think we can actually talk to him. Anyway, let's go get money from the rich lady. We can also get, to let you guys know, there's also a way we can get money from Kim Kethragi. I'd rather not do that to him. Trust me, like, if we can't make the money for, for our hotel room, he will actually, he will apparently have some hubcaps that he will sell to help us cover our costs, and, like he is, like, the best pro that way. But I'd rather not do that to him. What's in here? Ooh. Anyway, time to beg for money. She did say she'd be willing to do anything to help us, so maybe perhaps. You seem rich. Can I have some money? It's what you want.
What you want to say.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
Isn't that easy, is it?
Look at that lady. Take a gander. Squint your eyes, bub.
What nice fabric.
Why, yes. Tucked away under that sturdy green raincoat, almost rustic in its simplicity, a silk shirt and matching scarf around her gentle throat, while dull orange pearls hang from her earlobes, red from the cold. Her light green eyes scan you, full of knowledge and worry, wealth and all its possibilities. These are the kind eyes of the rich man that seem to say everything is possible, within reason.
Yes, sir.
Now look at you, you misery-clad simian, barely able to tie your own laces. Your armpits are lakes, a scythe of booze precedes you, your hair sticks to your forehead, and your underwear feels uncomfortable. You're poor, poor as balls. You can't ask this person for money. You're too...
You ashamed?
Yes, you're too ashamed to ask this person for money. Too scared to belittle yourself in her eyes. Those half-precious stones of Odinel. Oh God, the lieutenant is here too. Do not dishonor the force.
As I was saying, if there's any way I may be of assistance, please don't hesitate to ask.
You know what? Let's do it. Our communism approves.
Voila, you're doing it.
Can I have some money, ma'am?
Of course. How much do you need?
Wait, what?
She's surprisingly nonchalant about this. Could it be that she somehow knows more about your predicament than she's letting on?
I need 100 real.
That's a good sum. Not too small, not fantastically large.
She removes a few notes and hands them to you. The paper is cold and oily to the touch.
Holy crap, that worked.
So, I hope I didn't just bribe you, officer. It may not be technically illegal under the Emergency Act, but still.
Funny you're worried about this and not your ruthless exploitation of the entire human race.
You're right, man, that donations are permitted under the Emergency Act, unseemly as it may be, as long as they are properly logged with the precinct.
Which he most certainly will do. Now, how else can I help the RCM today, besides supplementing its salaries?
That worked out very well, actually. Reality isn't here yet.
Of
Okay,
course.
there should be another option if I remember correctly.
Everard Clare, of course not. He is the most corrupt individual I have ever seen, and I deal with men. Yes, it's how they circumvent the term. The Daybard organized late.
A mob.
Refreshing. And your opinion, detective? Why do you think so?
Like a motley
Well.
crew.
I suppose that's one way to look at it. They're an interesting composition, albeit vile. Of course. How else can I help?
Actually, I'm curious to just go through
Of
some of
course.
these dialogue options.
Everard Clare is a man of course not. Everard. He is the most corrupt. Have you seen him?
No.
Edgar looks exactly like his. It's how they circumvent the Of course. Of course. How else can I help?
We'll get back to more about reality later. Meantime, we've got stuff to do. people to talk to. And I still need only 50 more points to go. And then I can have enough to hopefully succeed. Let's talk to this lady.
Welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People. My name is Plaisance.
The clerk extends a greeting.
Be welcome, and please take responsibility for the energy you bring into this space.
I already have the money I need. Are you the owner of this store?
I am! The proudest owner of our little shop of culture.
Your voice is high-pitched as if to give more penetration. What if I want to buy a book?
Then why are you talking to me? Everything is on the shelves to browse. Don't you feel compelled to buy anything?
She feels a
See
penchant.
those shelves there? Go. Be drawn.
What type of books do you
Everything
have?
is on the shelves. Take a look yourself. The shelves compel you, don't they?
She's attempting to mentally direct you towards the shelves. She only wants you to buy the goods. She doesn't care about the books.
Ah.
Truth be told, not really. My sister brings in most of the goods. I'm sure it's all very literary stuff with well-written prose.
You literally don't know what you're selling. Why sell books if you have no understanding of books?
But you don't learn about the important things in life from fabricated stories.
Wait, shouldn't a shopkeeper know about her wares?
I provide a valuable service. As long as people buy books, I'm fine.
Where do you learn about the important
Truth
things?
is available if you just know where to look, and you have to open and free your mind to understand.
She nods at you cryptically. Yeah, I'll take a look then.
She smiles and nods, seemingly relieved.
Hold on. Oh yeah, the girl outside mentioned this place is cursed.
Cursed? Who said that? Annette? I will have a word with her. This place is not cursed. It has a robustly magnetic energy. Good for commercial activity. My business is thriving, sir.
What in God's name is she talking about?
Farewell for now, book peddler. Now, I want to make sure that we'll still be able to do the checks with the girl outside.
Hi, Ace.
Hello again, esteemed officer, and welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People.
Your daughter's the one standing outside the store, right?
Annette, yes, my daughter. I hope she wasn't slacking off again with her nose in science fiction. Tell me, was she at her post doing her job like a proper girl?
Yes, of course.
Wonderful. Did you talk to her?
Yes.
Great. On a scale of 1 to 10, how compelled were you to buy books after talking with her?
Her opinion of her daughter depends on how well she lured you into the store.
I'm not going to grade a human being. I don't do that.
Come now, it's not personal. It's about proper sales practices and market research. I expect an answer.
10. She's certainly very polite and
My
helpful.
precious, her dedication brings joy to my heart. If you have children, I hope they turn out as great as my Annette.
I'm here to dismantle the free market and abolish child labor. Dun, dun, dun.
You must be kidding. There's nothing like that happening.
Depends. How much do you pay your
Good,
kid?
sir. What does a young child do with money anyway? No, I save it for her, as a fund. She's securing her financial future out there.
Maybe she could do that herself if she had. I mean, what does she do with money? Well, she has no money, so she doesn't have anything to do with it. Maybe. Besides, you're going to get labor out of here. Shouldn't she get some sort of compensation?
Such criminal behavior would not happen in more developed countries.
In more developed countries, this sort of thing is 2 felonies: child labor and slavery.
Those countries will realise they've raised a lazy and spoiled generation. Are we done with the jokes now?
Okay, Karen.
Yes, we've had quite enough fun here. Right.
All this pressure.
Mind your own business, sir. In our society, people don't get to tell each other how to raise their children. It's none of your or anyone's business.
We'll see
Denial
about
is
that.
the way she copes with criticism.
All this pressure has been really anxious. She's been showing her nails.
God, I've told her not to do that. It's disgusting. And I told you to mind your own business. Clearly, you have no idea how hard it is to raise a girl in this economy.
This economy is a mysterious force, like cosmic weather, mysterious and harsh.
I don't think she can do anything about
She can, if she has enough willpower. This is what's called growing pains. Life isn't easy. Life doesn't give breaks.
Ooh, I hate this woman. It's like... I mean, to be fair, your store... You're not running the store very well. I don't think you're in any position to talk, and... Quite frankly, the girl can learn through ways to advantage of her.
Come on, ma'am. It's obvious she can't do anything about it. You are placing an unnecessary burden on a young child.
Doing is wrong, even I know. Usually
She
don't know.
stands stiff and severe, silently fuming. 10 or so seconds pass without change. This is a person coming to terms with a new reality, one where they are wrong. It's not easy. She's looking for one, but there simply aren't any good arguments for being an asshole.
Revolution has been
Oh
sympathetic.
no. Hold on. I need to invite her inside and apologise. She must be freezing out there. There. I don't know what to say to you. My husband, he tries to teach me business lessons. I have what my mother called a dull mind. All this stress.
She stops by her mouth.
It sounds like both the husband and the mother treat her the way she treats Annette.
You're like Annette to your husband and your mother.
Oh. Well, my mother was horrible, of course. Absolutely perverse energies around that person. But my husband...
My husband is completely different, of course.
Really? Is this husband Annette's father?
Yes. My husband is a successful entrepreneur east of the river. If only he were more involved in the business we're running up here. No matter. Soon we'll both be off for Grand Couronne.
Grand Couronne?
It's a proper place to live. One of the most peaceful neighbourhoods east of Jamrock. You may know it for its massive housing projects. Most of the buildings are empty at the moment. It's a great opportunity to get ahead of the crowds. Better times ahead for sure.
And your husband's also involved with the bookstore?
He made the initial investment. Since then, he's been what you might call a silent partner.
Sounds like you two don't really get along.
Super silent, almost inaudibly so.
Is she an only child?
Yes, I'm afraid so. A real treat she is. It would be nice if she had... No, we couldn't have afforded more children, really. Not in this economy.
To be fair, Revachol it's kind of hellhole.
A glimmer of sadness blinks through the well-crafted exterior.
Why not?
We're quite busy people, you know, my husband and I. Quite busy. Children are a lot of work. You don't look like a father, so I don't expect you to understand.
Well, I mean, to be fair, there are plenty of fathers who look like me. Not a good thing, but there are plenty who do.
I'm sorry. I'm sure you do understand.
She told me she doesn't go to school anymore.
She's been too busy, helping me here. So she studied at home this trimester. This is a temporary solution, of course.
Really?
I assure you, I of all people understand the importance of education. She will be back in school the moment the store takes off.
And that'll
And
be...
hell freezes over? Never mind. It's not a good topic to get into.
Alright, I have something else.
The woman looks aloof, her features much softer. Occasionally she glances at her daughter's silhouette.
Farewell for now, book peddler. Let's speak to the girl. Hi, doctor.
I'm sorry, sir. I can't talk right now. I'm very busy with my homework. I have so much homework now.
You just can't win. Out of the rain and into the gutter.
What are you doing
Math. It's really difficult. Like, really. They say you need it to get rich. Better than standing outside in the cold, I guess.
now? Wait a minute, suggestion.
Oh, I found something while you were away. I thought this would fit you. Like, thanks for helping out. Not me. The city, I mean. Like a detective does.
Is that a detective?
Yes, just like the one Dick Mullen wears all the time. You'll look way more serious with that. Right, I have to get back to my homework now, before Mum notices. Man, this is hard.
Okay, see you around, Annette. Okay, let's take off our shirt. I'm sure no one will notice. The game, you could literally walk around naked if you want. But anyway. Let's make another roll now that we
Hi,
no
Ace
longer have a
Detective.
modifier.
Are you here for more books?
Because you know each other. She's been talking to you so openly because you've talked before.
Hang on. So you know me? We've met before?
Yes, I used to stand out there all the time, before Mother told me to focus on my homework. You've been running around all week without your shirt on, sir, apologising to everyone. I don't really understand what you've done wrong.
Did I ever talk to you?
Of course, you've stopped by a few times. You certainly look better than the last time I saw you.
Thanks, I'm trying.
Yeah, I can see. You don't have party eyes anymore.
Party eyes. Yes, of course. That makes sense.
I'm not surprised children have seen you running around with party eyes on, he thinks. Not at all.
You know, like a cat in the dark, all big and wide-eyed. It certainly looks odd on a man.
The swiveling eyes of a loony drug addict. That is what she meant. You were probably gurning too.
Oh, so I'm an addict.
Fuck yeah. You should get some party eyes right now. Snap those sequins on you, boy.
Does that mean we're taking on necrotics?
Oh, baby. That's not what you have to worry about. Worry about the important thing.
So why didn't you tell me you knew me to begin with?
I didn't know I had to do that.
Thanks, I learned something about myself today.
I'm glad I could help you, sir.
See you around, Annette. And time to put my shirt back on. There we go. Anyway, we've done a good deed today. We don't have as much XP as I want, but we will soon will. Anyway, I will be out. Anyway, I think we've hit a good stopping point, and it's about time for us to end, so I will be ending the stream. This is all recorded. I will probably be uploading it to YouTube sometime within the near future. Or I need to figure out how to post videos to Twitch. I'm a complete noob with Twitch. But in the meantime, to anyone who's listening, take care. Again, happy Trans Visibility Day. I wish you all a good night, and farewell for now, my friends and comrades.